go to college?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Do you own it?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. I went to Alabama for 2 years, and then I went to the University of Central Florida for another 2 years.
Gotcha. What did you major in?
I started off majoring in chemical engineering when I was in Alabama, and then after about 2 years, I wasn't liking it. I was not doing well in it, and it was really difficult, to say the least.
Sounds like it.
And I started pivoting without like officially changing my major, so I started like taking classes that I shouldn't have been taking to try and like get credits for another major that I thought I would do. And I was doing for like other like biochemistry and other kind of chemistry related things, but then I failed organic chemistry too. And then at that point I was like, I'm done with chemistry and all that. I had to pivot completely. And then at that point, I had lost my scholarship by like 0.05. So I had to move back home because I wasn't paying out-of-state tuition, because that is ridiculous, the out-of-state tuition. So I switched to computer science when I came to UCF, and then I switched to IT and finished with my IT degree.
Gotcha. So you went on an academic scholarship?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
When I was in Alabama, it was an engineering scholarship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your end game after getting the degree?
I had no idea. I was getting the degree, but computer science was difficult, and I would have liked to stay on that path, but honestly I just wasn't motivated to do the class assignments. They were difficult, and I didn't put in the time that you needed to actually get the good grades, pass the classes, and all that kind of stuff. So that's why I moved to IT, because IT was like the easier way out. Still work with electronics and stuff, and I was going through the IT degree, but I was like, this is kind of like too easy, and I don't know if this is going to lead to something good. So I was just kind of floating. I didn't really know what I was going to be doing after college. Kind of scared about that.
Oh yeah.
And then COVID hit. I came back home. I was doing classes online.
Gotcha.
And then I was able to get an internship with the company that I'm working with now. And luckily they were really flexible with me. I would take my Zoom classes when I needed to while at the office. And they were really cool with everything.
That internship that you're talking about now, did that end up leading to anything after?
Yeah, I'm still working there.
Gotcha.
So they hired me full time. I was working as an intern for maybe a year and a half, about something like that. And then my boss offered to hire me full time, and then of course I loved it. They, like I said, were super flexible with me. My bosses were cool with me taking classes while I'm in the office. They gave me my own office space to go take classes in.
That's dope. Alright, without getting too much into your personal life or getting too deep, tell me basically what your end goal is. Let's say you're working a steady job, you're making a decent amount, when do you feel that you could actually relax and be like, alright, I got this, I can just coast now?
I feel like I've been doing that right now, but I feel like I'm too young to be doing that.
Right.
Yeah. I make decent money right now, but that's before I start having a family and kids, and then once you start calculating that into everything, then you're like, well, I definitely got to be making more.
Right.
So
gotcha.
At what point? I would say it's definitely, I feel like I have to create something for myself. I'm trying to think of ways to make more money, maybe as a side business or something.
Gotcha.
Right now I'm trying to do e-commerce, so just trying to study that up. Gotcha. Learn about advertising and all that kind of stuff.
Alright, so the career field that you're in, you obviously love it. You enjoy it.
Yeah.
Would you say, are you, so you do a little like entrepreneurship on the side? Um, let's say if the entrepreneurship, like whatever you do on the side, if that takes off, would that be your main route? And would you put like your career now to the side, or like do you enjoy working more, or are you more of like a I want my own small business type of guy?
I think I like working for somebody else. Um, it's easier to have that like structure to follow, but I'm trying to push myself out and be able to start this thing and make my own business with it. And I'm working with one of my coworkers as my business partner. And, we're still on like ground zero, just
Right.
like research and everything like that.
Gotcha.
But if it were to take off, I would definitely consider like leaving my job, depending on how much I was making and everything like that, because to create your own business is pretty awesome, and
Right.
then to be able to like scale it online, with the age of the internet, it's like everybody's your potential customer. So
Exactly.
sky really is the limit.
All right. You've been living in Texas, or not Texas, Florida your whole life?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the nightlife as you got older. Like, we've been down here for vacation for about 6 days now.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Yes.
We like it. How was it for you growing up? Like, let's say 18 to 21 when you could actually go out.
Right. To be honest, I didn't really do too much. Like I like parties, but I didn't do too many of them.
Gotcha.
And like going to parties when I was younger, I mean, I was only here for like the summer,
Yeah.
And then when I was here for the summer, it's like you're only 18, 19, 20. Nobody wants to let you in unless I had a fake, but
Right.
that wasn't getting me in anywhere.
Gotcha. Would you say there's always something to do around this area? Like, there's always something happening. Like, you don't have to look far to find like something entertaining to do. Like today, you just come out here and do this, I guess.
Absolutely. There's always something to do here, and there's a lot of like just things you wouldn't normally do. I think there's a lot of just Florida is known for being like just very multicultural, and there's just a lot of cool things between different holidays that I'm sure you could find around here. Like if you wanted to embrace a new culture, I'm sure you could find that group around here.
Yeah. So, living in this area, I don't know exactly how long have you been. I guess what is this, Hollywood? How long have you been living in Hollywood?
We've been living here for like 2 years now. So we used to live in North Miami Beach, and then that's where I grew up. So we sold the house about like 2 years ago.
Gotcha.
Something like that, and then that's when we moved here.
All right. So living in this area, like seeing exotic cars, all that fancy stuff, did that kind of change your mindset? Saying, like, let's say you have a goal, and then you see some like exotic cars and stuff like that. Like, did that make you want to strive higher, or was your mindset already like that from a young age?
I think seeing like fancy cars and stuff, it makes me think that I want to maybe strive to be like as successful as these people are that are driving it, but
Right.
maybe spend my money wiser.
Gotcha.
For me personally, I would rather not spend all that kind of money into just a really nice car.
Yeah.
Drive a standard Honda, that's safe,
Right.
5-star safety ratings and everything,
Right.
and have a nice house, or just be able to take care of my family.
Gotcha.
But I'm sure those people that are driving those cars are successful, and that's why they're able to afford to drive those cars. So
Right.
those people are definitely doing something right.
Yeah.
But I would spend my money elsewhere.
Gotcha. How do you suppose you'd spend your money? Like, invest in it more, or like what would you like exactly do with it if you had like freedom to do whatever with it?
Right. Definitely travel more.
Right.
That's number one. And yeah, just invest more. Probably look into like buying businesses, being able to, turn what seems to be like everyday businesses, like, you kind of don't think about, but a lot of these businesses like laundromats and other businesses that you don't really think about, just kind of, take those that are always flowing with money. People always need to wash and dry their clothes and all that kind of stuff. And then there's companies now that are taking it a step further, and they're implementing drivers who will come and pick up your laundry from your house.
Yeah.
Pick it up, go wash it and dry it for you, and then drop it back off. So these people are doing like complete end-to-end services.
Yeah.
And you could, so you could like buy these businesses and maybe scale it even more.
Yeah. Honestly, until coming up here, I haven't seen. We were down in South Beach, and everybody's trying to sell you something in South Beach, and it seems like it's just not like that only out in South Beach. It seems like it's everywhere. Like you'll see people selling stuff on the side of the street, and that was different. It doesn't really seem like that back in Texas.
What were they trying to sell you?
Man, everything, man. we're on South Beach walking, and like guys will be promoting their clubs. Every 5 feet I walk, I hear somebody say "good gas" in my ear. People were selling Cuban cigars, lighters, all that. So it was really different. I guess coming to Florida, what's a spot or place you'd recommend seeing? Like you personally, like what's a spot you really like? Like it could be food, like scenery. What are you thinking?
Well, one is definitely Hollywood Beach, where we're at right now.
Right.
I love this beach.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
And of course I live here, but I mean, you walk down, there's a bunch of food. Good, not too many people here. Like obviously 4th of July weekend, a lot more people.
Right.
And there's always a decent crowd, but it's not too crowded here. But I'm trying to think of another spot that I would definitely recommend.
2,000 years later.
Probably the Keys.
The Keys? What would that be?
Key West. You go south about probably like 3 hours from here.
Gotcha.
So Key West, I'm planning to go on a trip down there with my cousin soon to go scuba diving. So we're gonna try and go scuba diving. You can go scuba diving there and catch like lobsters, or just go see coral reefs. Depending what you're trying to do. But definitely recommend going down to Key West.
So how old are you right now?
24.
24. And 5 years. How differently do you see your life than it is now? Like kids, house. Like what are you thinking?
I definitely want to be a homeowner.
Right.
And I don't know. I think at that point I'm probably ready to start having kids if I haven't already.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'll be working the same job. I think I might be somewhere else at that point.
Gotcha.
But I'll still be in Florida probably. I would like. I tell my family I would love to move to like Colorado or something, but it's hard to move away from your family.
I feel you, man. I feel you.
I love them too much.
All right, man. Well, this has been great. I guess closing remarks. Anything you want to say, recommend, anything like that? Any tips on anything?
I would say, sometimes it feels like you don't know where you're gonna find yourself. Like I didn't know where I was gonna find myself, and then I walked into opportunity that led me to the job, and like I changed majors like 6 times.
Wow.
You know, so it's like it's crazy where you could find yourself like it's hard to like keep your head up when you're like, man, my life is like crazy. Like I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, you know. And then I don't know. I just got lucky, you know. But it's better to prepare yourself and allow yourself to be lucky than just let things happen. You know, you gotta try and prepare. You know, study. Make sure you're doing well. Check in with yourself. You know, mental health.
Yep.
Definitely big. And just make sure you don't forget who you are. Let go of yourself.
Gotcha. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Happy 4th.